Very good morning, friends. Today we are moving on to the day 7 of our refresher program. And today we are going to discuss on the criteria 5, student support and progression, which it carries 100 points. So in this we have 4 key indicators: 5.1 student support, 5.2 student progression, 5.3 student participation and activities, and finally alumni engagement. So introduction part, the so far we have discussed about on curriculum aspect, teaching, learning, and research, innovation, and infrastructure facilities to the students. And this is something, what kind of a support that you are providing to the students apart from your teaching, like in the sense, what kind of soft skill program that you are organizing, English and communication training programs, placement support, like what kind of scholarship provided by the institution. So, and also what kind of a support you are providing to the students to progress to their higher studies. So proper kind of a counseling session. So all such things which has been included in this criteria 5, student support and progression. So in 5.1 is student support, which carries 30 points, in which 6 points goes to 5.1.1. Average percentage of students benefited by scholarship and freeship provided by the government. So I hope everyone will be knowing this part is like in our college, like most of the students are getting benefited out of this scholarship provided by the government. So this is a quantitative information. We have to give the numbers, how many students have got benefited for the past, like in the sense 5 years. And this is 5.1.2, average percentage of the students benefited by again scholarship, which is provided by the institution and non-government agencies. And since I am a part of admission committee at the JAIN college, I can see like our college management providing more number of like a fee concession for the students, and as well the non-government agencies also providing scholarship to the students. So you need to gather all such information, and very importantly, in our annual financial statements, we should have a proper breakup, because that serves as a proof for the NAAC. So I request the accounting and finance manager to have a proper breakup of the scholarship, how many students have got benefited, and what is the amount that provided as a scholarship, and it has to be highlighted and the same to be documented, so that at any point of time the DVV partner, if they ask, we can able to provide such documents. And also here you need to provide a policy document to whom you are going to give this scholarship. So as from very beginning, I just keep on telling, like, you should have a proper manual, in the sense procedures, policies for each and every activity. So 5.1.3, following capacity development and skill enhancement activities are organized for improving students' capability. Like as I said in the introductory part, what kind of a soft skills program that you are offering to the students, what kind of language and communication skills. So life skills, I think yoga, physical fitness, health and hygiene, awareness of trends and technology. So out of 4, whether are we providing all such kind of programs to the students? So you should have a proper invitation brochures, and how many students have participated, and proper report of the such programs, and you should have a geotagged photograph with the date and caption, and also it has to be updated in your website link. So the DVB partner may ask for randomly, they will choose for the certificates. So you have to provide those part at the time of verification. And 5.1.4, how many students have got benefited in arranging like competitive exams and career counseling offered by the institution. So like competitive exams, what kind of training provided? It might be in association with any of the IAS Academy or any of the banks, so which gives us a more weightage. So it is stating that how many of the students benefited. Like it is not they are not asking out for how many students have got passed out of this competitive examination. This 5.1.4 is specifying about how many students have participated and benefited out of these competitive exams and very importantly counseling session. And as I said in I think in criteria 2, teaching learning evaluation process, where I have mentioned the students record note which has to be maintained by the mentor. In that you can see like counseling will be given to the students before they go for an examination. Similarly, you can have a separate that is the career counseling, particularly we can give for from starting from first year onwards. You have to train them in the sense if the students pursuing BCom, what are all the career opportunities available for them for BCom general or BCom CA. Similarly, for each and every kind of a program, you should educate them what is the learning objective after completing your graduation, where he can go or he or she can go for their job or even for their future education aspects as well. So in this career counseling, generally we do this guest lecture career counseling in in banking industry, career opportunities in shipping and logistic. So all such things can be taken as a guest lecture. But here the career counseling is a one-on-one session with the student. You have to interact, that is the mentor should interact with the mentee individually, identify his capability, what is his strength and what is his weakness. The mentor has to identify and he has to educate them for his or her career counseling. So moving on to the next 5.1.5, the institution has a transparent mechanism for timely redressal of student grievances including sexual harassment and ragging cases, which carries 5 points, and this is a qualitative in nature. So from day one, just keep on insisting that to prepare a separate manual, procedure and policies for each and every process. In our college, we are having this grievance redressal cell, but it should be an active one, and we have to frame this policies. So because you need to have a proper committee, you need to have a proper internal and as well as external committee. If any grievances raising by the students, it has to be solved by the committee people. It might be internal and external. They should have a proper inquiry. So all such things need to be recorded. It should be maintained in a separate report, and minutes of the meeting should be properly updated, and it has to be again it has to be placed in the academic council as well. So moving on to the next key indicator is 5.2, student progression. So average percentage of placement of outgoing student during the last 5 years, which carries 10 points. So this is a very important part in any institution because the placement support offered by the institution. And I hope our placement officer doing her part in a very good passion, because even in recession time, I have to share my thoughts, because even during this lockdown period, our placement officer Mrs. Chandrakala ma'am, she has organized online campus drive too. So that is need to be appreciable. So even in this period lockdown, she has organized I hope 2 to 3 placement drive through online as well. So this can be recorded, and number of, this is a quantifiable information. You need to mention the student name, in which company he has placed, and what is the domain package, and when is this joining date, and all such information need to be updated. And the placement through higher education placement drive and through pool campus interviews recruitment drives at other college can also be considered. As there is students participating in off-campus drive and got placed also can be considered. So offer letters, and some companies they send email confirmation rather than offer letter, that also can be recorded, and it can be taken as a proof when it comes for clarification asked by DBB partner. If a student's getting more than 2 to 3 companies, so only one offer will be considered as a count. So 5.2.2, which carries 10 points, that is student progression towards higher studies, like a UG to post graduation, PG to M.Phil, PG to Ph.D, M.Phil to Ph.D, and Ph.D to postdoctoral. So you need to, even after he completes his graduation, you have to track him because he become an alumni of the institution. So you have to get to know what he or she is pursuing after his or her UG or even PG. So you have to mention the name of the student and which institution he or she is pursuing his higher education, and the document you have to get his identity card or admission letter. That can be taken as a proof. So final 10 points for average percentage of students qualifying in state, national, international level examination during the last 5 years. And again here they are asking out for the number of students who got passed in these competitive examinations. So if any of the students have got passed, you have to gather his name and which exam he has passed, and they have mentioned it over there. And even like the student passing from typewriting exam which is organized, that also need to be taken into account. So like to like this can be possible when there should be a proper mentor mentee system, because the mentor can concentrate to that particular 30-35 students, and he or she has to keep on interacting with the students. You can derive the data from the students. So so list of students, this is a quantifiable information. This has to be very challenging one for us. So next part is 5.3, student participation and activities, which carries 30 points, in which 10 points goes to number of awards, medals for outstanding performance sports or cultural activities at university, state, national, international. And I hope in our college we are having a very good sports team, which is headed by Dr. Desingarajan sir and his team. In every year our college representing the universities, and most of the students are also representing this state and national, international as well. So those count need to be updated. This is a quantifiable information, and as well we are also having a very good NCC team as too. So the participation, see, this is given by the NAAC, particularly the students participating in the Republic Day parade at Rajpath, New Delhi, by the NCC cadres can be considered over here, and as well as the cultural programs, the students also participating in the various cultural programs. I hope Professor Karunagaran sir, Assistant Coordinator, Head Department of Mathematics. I hope Professor Manjula Devi ma'am, Department of Economics, and Professor Benita ma'am, and they're all involved in these cultural activities, helping the students to move out for these cultural activities. Sorry if I missed anyone, because these people I know. And participation certificates, awards, those kind of a document need to be get it from the students to be preserved, and because whenever we need to upload all such things in the NAAC portal. So 5.3.2 which carries 10 points, presence of an active student council and representation of students on academic and administrative bodies committees of the institution. That is nothing but students participation in students participating in various committee meetings of the college, in whether it can be academic and administrative. So this is a qualitative information where you have to give it in 500 words. So what is the like a system that you are following? Who are all the students can participate? In which academic and administrative committee programs they are eligible to participate? And all such things are need to be framed as a policy, and it has to be uploaded in the NAAC portal. And if you are organizing any program, I hope the minutes of the meeting, who are all the participated in the meeting, students name, faculty name, and any top management involvement, all such details are need to be recorded in this 5.3.2. So 5.3.3, average number of sports and cultural events competition organized by the institution. So again, we don't have any problem in this, because every year again the sports when it comes for sports and games, they are doing a really awesome job, because we are organizing a lot of intercollegiate event, university tournaments on kabaddi, Coco, volleyball, cricket tournament as well. So we are organizing more number of event, and also the competitions also. Like we can take intercollegiate cultural or intercollegiate management event. So all such events are, you have to give it to the numbers, and you should have a proper report, photograph, brochure if any of the chief guests are invited, his or his her profile, and it should be properly documented, posted in the college website, and if possible it can also be disclosed in the newspaper publication as well. So final part is 5.4, alumni engagement. So 5.4.1, the alumni association chapters should be registered, which contribute significantly to the development of the institution through financial and other support services. So this is quantifiable information. So what kind of so the question is whether do we have a alumni association, and it should be registered, and there should be a proper frequent meeting with the alumni, and what kind of a financial support they are providing, and also the support services in terms of they can call for a guest lecture, they can be a resource person for seminars, conferences, and also they can provide internship project opportunities in their office, placement support to the students, career guidance program for the students, and etc. You can also have different programs can be organized through this alumni people. So final 5 points goes to the contribution, how much they are contributing to the college during the last 5 years. And our management policy is not to collect fund from the alumni. And I request the professor in charge, principal, and the coordinators, assistant coordinators can convince the management, because like every college they are collecting alumni fund during the final year. So I hope from further they can take it forward, and you can explain to the management, stating that these are all NAAC requirements, where 5 points are there. We should not miss these 5 points, because like recent rating, we have missed 0.02 to obtain this B++. So like we can convince the management, we should have a proper alumni association to be registered, and we can also collect fund from the alumni as a membership fee as well. So that's all from my end for this criteria 5, student support and progression. And I request everyone to watch this video presentation and raise your questions. Very few questions are raising by my friends, so please, should we have an interactive session, and I'll also try to take this assessment test. This is only to test our knowledge. Not we are not going to give any medal or it will not be recorded anywhere. It is just for to understand our learnings. That's all. So thank you, friends. Thanks for patient listening to this criteria file, student support and progression. Thank you so much.